Bloomberg, he needs to back off. You tried to pull it off with the whole obesity thing, talking about, let's get rid of the big gulp out of 7-Eleven. Pretty much, the bottom line is this: there's not many 7-Elevens in the New York State. They just came along a couple of years ago, and there's not that many. And so the thing is, for you to try to propose something like fingerprinting, so what you're going to do, you're going to open the door, or you're going to wait till censor time come to try to say that? And what's going to be the next step? If you don't agree to the program to be fingerprinted, you will be brought up on some type of bogus-ass charges, excuse my French, but these are the chains of commands that start this domino effect. You know what I'm saying? And it is only being targeted towards the urban community. I'm definitely for certain things. I go 50-50 on a lot of these things, because projects does produce a lot of negative people. Let's just say that. But like I said earlier, let's hope that Bloomberg, out of the 650,000 people that you plan on fingerprinting, I hope you're going to all of the projects, even the ones down there on the Lower East Side, the ones back in Main Street in Queens, and also the ones over there in the environment there in Brooklyn that they trying to bring back to being a wealthy city. You know what I'm saying?
Mercy. Just to get right in there with you, I hear that rant right there. That's a good one, because we know, me and you both know. Let's take a look at the Polo Grounds. Let's call out the Polo Grounds.
Yeah, let's do that.
Polo Grounds is located up there in Harlem, off I forgot 100 and something, right there, right?
My brother, this is what we're gonna do. Let's exclude the Polo Grounds. Let's talk about Idawalk projects right here in the Bronx.
Okay, all right. We want to. Yeah, all right. We can do that. Idawalk project is located right across the street from the police station,
and is considered the most infamous projects uptown Bronx.
In uptown Bronx, right?
And it's right across the street from a police station.
Who's going in there causing these problems? Is it people? I mean, everybody listening right now, and you from the project, give us a call at 646-736-7479, because you got to take responsibility here. Who in the project? You know what? When I first came to New York City, I lived in a project. I lived in a project for a while. And let me tell you something. It's the residents that lived there that were pissing in the hallway.
Oh, yeah.
Selling drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Picking in the doors.
Oh, yeah.
Smoking weed in the hallway. Having pit bulls running up and down the hallway.
Disrespect.
They sitting in the hall, sitting in the stairwells and making the shit hot. It wasn't nobody from somewhere else. Yes, you do have people from somewhere else, but let me tell you something about the project. Very rarely you find people that don't live here coming in here to do dirt. Because I'm not saying it don't happen, it does happen. And a lot of people might call me out on that and say, hey, Steph, you're crazy. You know what I mean? But most of the time it's the residents that live there that harm other residents that live there or cause these type of deplorable situations that you see in there. They piss in the hallway and they piss in the damn elevators and stuff like that. So for the mayor, I'm not agreeing with Mike Bloomberg, because it scares the hell out of me to want to just lump everybody in the group and say, we're going to fingerprint you to make you safer. All right.
He who would sacrifice liberty for safety deserves neither. I want everybody to remember that little saying.
Ever since the notorious 9/11 took place, Americans have given up the rights for liberty. You rather have safety. That's what's been dealt out on the table right now. So all these measures are actually part of that agenda. That's what people don't realize. It's a part of that Patriot Act and all that agenda right there.
Agenda 21.
Big time vote for the government to enforce things on people. I just want to touch on this. Bloomberg is actually stating, he's saying that if the people that live in the public housing is fingerprinted, that they're going to make a system where you're only going to be able to get into the buildings by your fingerprint. So it's going to make the buildings and more safe and from break-ins and people from and like I'm glad that you touched on that, Temple, that there's nobody from outside the projects coming in and corrupting and terrorizing the projects. Yes, the projects is a product of the urban community, and they do produce a lot of people that are indulging in a lot of different crimes, but there are also people that live in the projects that are not bad people. So, and then another thing on top of that too, the projects, like you said, the people in the projects need to get it together. I wish somebody from the projects would call and contest me, because I lived in it as well. Yeah,
yes, and you're absolutely right.
All kind of stuff, the bathroom windows, the kitchen windows, you throwing it outside of your building when you got a damn trash chute about 5 to 10 feet away from your door. Like, things like that is what makes us be looked upon as dirt and trash, and just it just gives people on the outside of the urban community the outlet to look at us like trash. And the thing about it is that I always say this: you got people from the Bronx that if they go to Manhattan and they're eating like a bag of chips and they have a juice or something like that, they'll wait till they get to a garbage can to throw that out. But right here in the Bronx, that'll go on the floor without a mercy. Yes, brother.
Exactly. Bloomberg is actually saying that the people that live in the project, most of them are good people, and they actually want extra police protection. But extra police protection doesn't say fingerprint the hell out of me.
Oh man,
listen, there's houses, there's a whole section of New York City Police Department that does only that, police the project. They call the housing authority.
They are
the police.
Have housing police.
They are there, and
they even have their own things.
Exactly. They have their own damn description and things like this. People that live outside of New York have no idea what New York projects are like. I think it is a haven for crime.
Wait, hold on, brother.
Get to the bottom of crime.
Hold on, brother. Listen, I think we going outside of the content of what this is. I think we could talk about how we could degrade the people that come out of the projects, and we could talk about the ups and downs and the endeavors that's coming out of public housing. But by far, let's say Queensbridge, one of the most infamous projects in the world. But the thing is this: California, the projects in California is real, brother. Little Rock, Arkansas. Even the housing communities all around the world have the same stricken situations because of the property that these people stacked up on top of each other by 30, let's say 30 floors. And each floor you have over 10 apartments, or let's say 5 to 10 apartments. There's no room for people to breathe. This is why
this is what we're doing. We're still explaining. Right now, what we're doing, we're still explaining the traits of the project, the ailment, the confinement. So what we need to do, what I'm going to do right now is to figure out if what the mayor is doing is a bunch of bully acts, or is just another way for him to track the residents, or just to keep a total grip on the city, on those, and just going out and say, these are the bad people.
Brother,
actually, the biometrics idea is nothing new.
Is this fingerprinting measure something that can really help the people or not?
Yeah. And actually, gentlemen, the idea of biometrics is something new. There are a few employers, I can't mention their names if you know what I mean, but there are employers in Colorado right now using that system where you use your index finger to clock in and clock out for your lunch breaks. Everybody make...
And you have a problem. You got to right there. Stop right there. You know when you have a problem. You have a problem with that system, Ed? Do you have a problem?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. One...
Why do you have a problem with it?
It's... I'm going to sound like I'm crazy, and somebody who's listening may call the men in white coats. But I had just been reading up on biometrics, especially when you posted that story as to what's happening. It is an eventually it's an idea to make your body your identification. Now, what I'm hearing is to do away with your driver's license, your ID, your passport, and that's going to be your ID. And supposedly, what the next step is after that is to put a microchip inside of your arm. I've been watching stuff about that. It's all over YouTube, all over the internet. This is what's referred to commonly as the UN's Agenda 21.
Okay. Hold on.
Go ahead, man.
I'm going to make the statement about that. As far as on a job, like employers doing that, I think that's so people can't cheat the clock, and have somebody else punch in for them and punch out and do things like that. That's a system to protect money. But this project situation, the DNA thing, the DNA system that they have in the criminal justice system now, where if you go into the system for pissing in public, disorderly conduct, it doesn't matter what you go in for, you will be DNA before you leave.
Are you saying that even for misdemeanors, people are being
There has been a lot of talk about that.
You could go to jail for nothing, basically. Once you go into the system, book, you will be fingerprinted and you will be in DNA before you're released.
Okay, so this project method is the same, so would be equivalent to going to prison and living in a prison living in a place that is prison. That's what it's going to be.
Listen, the thing is this is why I always tell people I'm 50-50 with everything. The DNA testing has proven on high numbers to break cold cases from years ago, and they also breaking cases now. Like the thing, a guy jumped the train the other day, was arrested, took to bookings, and before he was able to leave, he had to be DNA swabbed, and come to find out, he raped 6 women. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's definitely something that we need. You understand what I'm saying? Because, like I tell people all the time, the problem is that we need the police. I'm 50-50 with the police because there are people in this world that need police. It's just the bottom line. The thing is, yeah, brother. I just want to say this, that as far as with the fingerprinting thing in the projects, I think it's incriminating. It's wrong because you cannot fingerprint my kids. Why should my kids have why should they be in the system?
Exactly. The road to hell was paved with good intentions.
And everybody that's listening, that was crazy. That was crazy because you know what? Once you're born in this country and have a social security number, you are in the system, brother.
You not, brother.
What they're doing right now, they're getting rid of all the paper. They're getting rid of paperwork. They're getting rid of a lot of paperwork. They're just making human beings digital. That's what they do.
Hold on, listen. We that's all true. But what I'm trying to show you is this: when they was flocking these high schools and the rest of these kids, it was only to get them on paper, man. I know the law, brother. If you ain't never been fingerprinted and never been in the system, you are not a part of that system. Period.
You're not a part of the criminal system. You're not a part of the criminal system. Okay. You're a part of the wider. You're a part of the wider system that has been created for you.
Interpol.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
The thing is this: if they fingerprint everybody in the projects, you will be put in the criminal system because they saying that it will bring down crime, brother. Come on, let's not go around. We know what he's trying to do. You understand?
Right. So listen, that means that if a person that has a crime or criminal record is trying to access the building, they're going to have a method of tracking that person. That hey, this person is living over here and he's wanted for a crime or something.
No, you got it. You getting it misconstrued. I was telling you that he was proposing the reason why he wanted to do the fingerprinting is so they could put a system where you get to go home and get in the building, you have to use your fingerprint. Meaning that way, if you a 3-year-old child or a 5-6-year-old child and you got to go to the store and get back in the building, you need to be fingerprinted. It's incriminating, brother. And on top of that, the thing is this: they say that parolees and people that the projects is dangerous. Now, if I have a fingerprint of everybody in the projects and the crime has been committed, it's just like the DNA thing.
Right. They can run all the. I mean, we know what this is. But is it going to solve the 20% of crime that they said harboring inside the New York City housing department?
But I tell you what it will do. It will put up a lot of red flags, and for all of them negative out there, that's definitely going down for them. But the thing is this: what happens to? I don't want my grandmother fingerprinted. I don't want you to come in here and talk about you're going to fingerprint my 5-year-old child. Why you want to? If you want to fingerprint people in the project, when they come home from goddamn parole, you have their fingerprints. Don't try to use this stupid system for the doors, because the
You got to